Hey guys, what's going on? NIGHTREIGN playing more Elden Ring Night Rain, and this time things went a lot better. So I obviously been watching my gameplay and have noticed ways that I can improve in the game, and sometimes things are just kind of unavoidable. So I'm still dying here and there, but it seems that I got matched with quite a good group. I still really like this character, and I'm learning a lot more about the game as I go along, and we got to kill a lot of cool creatures this time. I believe we killed 3 of these guys, the Guardian Golem, and as I stated, sometimes it's unavoidable when you die, and also learning the different mechanics of each creature through each different time that you encounter him. But overall, this set of 3 people right here, I'm happy to say, were able to essentially get us through to an important part. Obviously didn't want to spend too much time on one scene as not to waste your time, and obviously to keep you entertained as best as possible. So we got another Guardian Golem here, the other one was defeated, and so just another thing worth noting, if you do happen to die, you're going to lose a level. I'm not sure if that happens every time you die, but yeah, just so that's worth noting. And we managed to get this guy down, and then there was a couple of other things that we did that were pretty cool, but for the length of the video and the information I'm trying to give, I didn't want it to be too incredibly long. But we finally were able to get to day 2, so I'm quite happy about that. And we almost made it to day 3 actually. We were so close. It just sort of, I'm not sure, but obviously watching this, making this, I'll be able to see if there was anything I really could have done differently, but I just don't think so, because I was actually trying to help revive my allies as much as possible. And this guy we finally got, which was just so amazing. But you know, I'm not sure if they do something different every encounter, because it seemed like this time we had a lot of time where we were able to attack him, when normally we didn't have that opportunity. We weren't able to get those good strikes in because he was throwing his sword a lot more. So I'm not sure why this time he wasn't doing that, but it definitely allowed us a lot more opportunity to be able to do damage to the boss. Like I said, I'm still dying here and there, and sometimes it's unavoidable, so expect it when you're playing. The only thing is, if your allies don't get you up, you're going to lose all the credits you got. So right now I got 42,000, and they do get me up, which they did a great job of kiting this guy around while they were also still able to get me up. So, and I'm not even sure, I don't think you can actually pull somebody up while you're down in the boss encounter. But I did want to show you here our final clip. And we did kill him, and now we're on day 2, and this is where things get really exciting, because now we're fighting this full-size flying dragon of the hills, and once again I die. But I've never faced this creature, so while still learning the mechanics, I'm just, you know, obviously back up again, because my teammates have been very good about that and allowing us all to sort of do our part. And I got this boat gun earlier, which was actually very beneficial. And it's interesting, I picked it up and immediately thought, wow, this is not that great. And then I seen him using it, and it was like, alright, let's do this. And this thing actually does quite a bit of damage. I mean, it's not like ridiculous amount, but it helps from a long range, so that way you can keep your distance. But obviously he's got a lot of long ranged attacks, and I'm pretty sure we could have bypassed this creature. I'm dead again, but we could have bypassed this creature and maybe just went around him, but obviously he potentially had the chance to drop something that was going to be very valuable to our voyage, so we decided to kill him. And I know it looks like I die a lot, right? Because I kind of do, but I did notice a lot of improvements on my end. I think they more so come into play a little bit further in the video, where I wasn't dying as much and surviving and doing a lot of damage, and sort of I could tell that I've learned a lot from watching my gameplay. And obviously it's not, you know, the most fairest accurate description on the newer content, because I'm still learning it, but I think you'll see through this video, even right there, normally I guess, you know, I might have died before, but see the tail right there, like, I didn't know his tail's coming and I'm dead again. But luckily for this guy over here, he was pretty great, this ranger, and he was able to save us. He almost died right there. Our whole expedition could have been over right there, which that would have sucked. But ultimately we're going to get this dragon down, and then we can show you a little bit more gameplay of where we got. The dragon's almost dead, but I've got my teammate working on that while I try to revive this guy, just in case the dragon takes him down, and then we basically all lose out. So I'm in the midst of trying to get this guy up, which we've done, and now we're going to further progress a little bit after we kill a couple of these enemies that sort of just decided to show up. Can't believe we made it to day 2, quite honestly. I think it's quite crazy and really excited about it. I was hoping that, you know, we got so close to killing the final boss in day 2. I really thought we were going to get to day 3. I'm pretty sure everybody's just going to be just as disappointed as I was with the fact that we weren't able to get there. But I think there's lots of exciting things in the game, and I believe in the first day there's 2 different bosses you can encounter at the end, and one of them I think is a little bit harder because one of them drops 2 of them, but I don't know. So we're enjoying the game a lot and we're making progress, which it's hard to not be happy about that, right? So if you've been playing Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN, then you're encountering a lot of the things that I am. And the game's got loads to offer. The graphics are incredible. I don't know if you guys can actually notice it in this video. I upped the frames per second that I was recording it, because, you know, I like to mess with that sometimes if a game can handle it, because to be honest with you, some games can't in a screen recorder, and they just totally glitch out. So it's like when you're recording something potentially important, you'll lose all that footage and it just won't look right. So we got another one of those guardian golems over here, and it's so interesting because one of my allies started to fight it, and then he sort of runs off, but I'm not even paying attention, so then I end up dead again, which is just what else is new, right? And then here we are at the day 2 final boss, Fell Omen, and I used my ultimate, and we really started to do a lot of damage to this guy. You could just see his health shrinking like ridiculous, but obviously it wasn't enough in the final hour, because just over time I guess, and then, you know, you run out of, what is it, like health potions. So once we all got down to a certain point, we were all being very careful not to get too close to this guy, which I guess in the end led to our ultimate doom, sort of, because we got him down really low, but then we were afraid to sort of go near him at that point. We did have a ranger. You know, that's the one thing that I see that could have been a little bit different here, is that potentially if the ranger hadn't focused so much in the final moments on trying to get us up, then potentially he could have done the damage that would have taken him down. But you can already see here, you know, that we're doing quite a bit of damage, and I'm finally starting to play an important role here in, you know, just learning the characters and learning the mechanics. Gonna try to get this guy up, as he's gonna be very important in helping us defeat this boss. Just watching it now, it's a little bit difficult because I really wanted to get this kill. You got this special attack here, which you got to be careful for, and we did pretty good here, but then we didn't foresee a spear coming at us, and maybe if I wasn't so focused on the special attack, because I'm not sure what it's going to do, I potentially could have survived right there. But regardless, I'm up again, and so that really wasn't as fatal of a mistake as it could have been. But even here, trying to get in here and get some nice swings, but this guy moves really quick, and I decided to use this longer weapon, which, as you can see, every time I try to go in, he's just moving. But ultimately, hit again. I'm going to try to use my health, but there is no more HP potions or whatever they're called, right? So now I've got this little bit of health, and I've got to try to still do what I can, and that's exactly what I did. I just sort of ran in and did what I could, some dodging mechanics, and so I'm still definitely playing a role here, which, I mean, I'm just sort of making statements about that because I feel like I really wasn't making any, like, sort of impact before, but now I feel like I can honestly say that I am sort of playing a vital role in defeating these bosses and creatures. So here is basically our little bit of final footage here. I think we got probably about a minute and a half left, and this is where everything sort of just, it doesn't necessarily fall apart. I mean, like, I really thought we had him. I mean, we were all putting in damage and keeping our distance, and except, you know, it's just little things here and there that maybe could have been different. But also this guy right here, so this is a fundamental moment where I'm spending all my time fighting, trying to get this guy up, and potentially I could have been behind that boss hurting him, and now I'm down. I mean, I probably could have only done another maybe like 7% life damage, but then the ranger could have been helping. So it's possible, slightly possible, we could have actually downed the boss. I'm not 100% sure, but it's okay. There's always next time, and we had a good time playing, trying, and learning. And I think every time you play, you improve. So it's just going to be a learning lesson. I think it's going to be really tough to get back this far, though. I do think that. I think it's all about having the right group, and then everybody's own progression and getting better at the game. But hopefully, if you guys are playing Elden Ring Night Reign, you're enjoying your experience. He was trying to get me up here, and it's just this wasn't enough. And I think even my ally over here, oh, he does get up. So he's up, but then instantly gets knocked down. So it really didn't quite matter much. But I don't know, guys. We're having a great time with Elden Ring Night Reign. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching.